Tony, we're so glad. It is your birthday. Famfare is aging, and we love him, and we love having him around. And
it's my birthday tomorrow.
It is, and we're very happy for it. And he thought that this could support a cold open, and now I'm going to give him grief for it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're going to get 5 more minutes out of this. We're already done.
We're already done. I wish you happy birthday. We love you.
I'm turning 35.
Disgusting. Don't ever admit that. Bleep that. Go back and bleep that.
Yeah. I'm an old man now.
I know. I don't want to be old.
Yeah, God.
I don't want to be young, certainly. I prefer if people thought of me as ageless.
25 forever.
Yeah.
Insurance going down, 26.
Still on your parents' insurance, but,
Can rent a car.
Can rent a car. You can't run for president, so no matter how much shit you talk, no one can ask you to really put your money where your mouth is.
That's right, yeah.
So we're all 25.
You're old enough to be an adult, but also not old enough to really be a person with responsibilities or a home or a family or a wife or a job.
I would call 35 the opposite of that, because that sounds real and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony, you're turning 25, I hear.
No, I'm not. I'm turning 35. I'm an old man now. I'll be able to yell at kids to get off my lawn. I'll be polishing my shotgun, so when Winnie has my niece has a boyfriend over, I can intimidate him. God, I can't wait for that part of my life. Any one of her little boyfriends comes over, and I'm going to be leering at them. I'll grow a beard just to make myself more intimidating.
Drinking tea on the veranda.
Oh, yeah, the whole 9 yards.
So the whole yelling at kids to get off your lawn thing, that's like that's a classic, obviously. But, just realistically thinking about it, now that I'm also old, those are probably stories that get blown wildly out of proportion about a guy who's like, I just reseeded, and they're running in cleats for soccer practice. Get off of my lawn!
I remember when I first moved in to the house I was in previously, we had just moved into that neighborhood, the same neighborhood Kevin lives in.
Yeah.
I lived up the street. But when we first moved in there, all the houses were freshly built, so the yards were all just muddy. And I distinctly remember me playing with some of the local kids, and we stepped on someone's yawn, and he got out of his house and was like, "You kids, get off my friggin' lawn!" Because we were fucking up the seeds.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh, wow, this is real.
What an asshole.
Yeah, my friends in the neighborhood...
every time you take a step, he sees a minus HP with a dollar sign. Right, minus $40, minus $40.
Well, there was, in the neighborhood next to mine, connected to mine, my friends would get off the bus, and all the kids would cut through this one guy's lawn to the point that they were tramping a line through the guy's lawn.
Oh, man.
And it was to save 1 second of walking. The sidewalk was right there, but it cut the corner off the sidewalk, and they would all do it. And they were he gets mad as we walk on his lawn. Yeah, no shit he does. In hindsight, what the fuck? You're saving no time at all.
God, they call those, in sociology, desire paths, from the desire you get to kill those kids.
Man. Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I'm pretty neutral on the whole age thing, by the way, because I've looked the same since I was about 11.
You don't get to have an opinion on that, yeah.
I've white hairs now.
The picture of you graduating middle school could be older than you are now. It'd be a coin flip. If I didn't know you, and you were just here, look at these pictures, put these in order, I think I probably would get it wrong.
Yeah. He says he has white hairs, beautiful head, of extremely dark hair.
There, and in the beard.
A almost cartoonish chin that pisses me off.
His jawline, you could cut diamond.
One of has white hairs.
You really make
Kevin has white hairs.
I have white hair.
Yeah.
If I take my hair down, I look like I snuck in here.
Yeah.
I tricked him into thinking that I'm a youth. 35, I could never. And then you find out I'm 52 years old, and I escaped from some Eastern European nation for war crimes.
His body's under so much stress.
Constantly. I'm always about to die. I was designed to be eaten by predators. I got 2 bum knees. Well, I got 1 bum knee that needed pieces removed from it. I got hands that don't work. I got hair that turns gray and makes me sad. I got a big fat body because I don't care about it.
I got honey all over my legs.
And
And with that, welcome back to Scryer's Room. I am your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
And I'm Rob. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Thank you for having us. We're once again at Rob's House Studios with the Rick and Morty Bongs microbiome
In the yellow room.
in the yellow tint.
And today, we're once again going to be talking about the Dwarves of the Warhammer setting.
We're picking up where Tony left off last week.
Yeah, we had discussed a little bit of the history about the Dwarves, and we went over the Great Catastrophe and the Demon Incursions. And
I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't know any of that stuff.
A lot of people don't.
And then they hid in their holes while the demons raged for like 15 years. I didn't know that.
Between 15 and 1,000 years, depending on which elf you talk to.
Yeah, and then, Kalador did his vortex, the day is saved, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls, and then Malekith made friends with the dwarves, and then subsequently shafted them about as hard as he could.
As soon as he could. Yeah. The moment he remembered that dwarves were on the table.
The second it could convenience him to do so.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck those guys.
He didn't think about the dwarves for like 100 years, and then one of them calls him because he's like, I'm dying, and I need you to promise to never betray the dwarves. And he's like, of course, I would never do anything to betray the dwarves. And as soon as that guy's final breath leaves, he's like, what could get me out of this mess? Betraying these dwarves.
Yeah, it happened so fast, and it happened so shittily.
Immediately.
And, so we left off with King Kalador II, the Phoenix King, had the Dwarven ambassador shaved.
Yeah.
And sent home.
Starting the War of the Beard.
And the dwarves did not take kindly to that.
Yeah.
Which, I caught up. I listened to the last episode because Tony sent it to me, which, I'm back, hello, hi.
Yay.
And that right there, they shaved him and sent him back. And that's like, all the elves look around and just like,
that's a funny
lenient,
bit.
right?
They really thought so.
We really let him off.
It's a funny bit.
They really thought so.
It's like good, high fives all around, guys. Like,
they really thought they were being magnanimous.
So progressive.
Yeah, we nailed that one.
They really thought
we could have been so much worse. Nope, but little did they know.
Little did they know. Literally had no fucking clue.
They talked about how they thought about killing me, and then they decided to do this. I would have rather than killed you. Me too. Me too.
So with the shaving of the dwarf envoys, the dwarfs prepared for war. They did not lash out in anger, but set to the task of readying for a protracted conflict. Throughout the realm, workshops labored night and day to make ancient war machines ready for battle. New edges were made on heirloom axes. Provisions were drawn in so that each hold could withstand a siege if needed. When all was ready, war horns sounded from the towers of every hold as the High King sent for his warriors. From every corner of the Dwarf Empire, kings mustered their throngs as they marched to the call of their High King. The following is a letter sent to all the kings of all of the holds, which each transcribed into their own book of grudges in their own blood, so that all accounts of the event are the same across the Dwarven Empire. Be it known that a most grim and worrisome event has taken place, which threatens the prosperity of our realm and the lives of our people. We hereby lay down this decree so that the truth be known to all our folk for all time to come. Some years ago, our merchants were hindered most foully during a lawful conduction of their affairs. Knowing that the lands are perilous and many dangers confront our warriors daily, it is not unusual that we should not hear frequently from those of our subjects who labor far away from our hearths and halls. Indeed, were it not for the risks undertaken by our brave subjects, our realms would not delve so deeply, stretch so widely, and glitter so brightly as they do. As we have sworn, we offer protection to the furthest lands, and stretch our arm long indeed to guarantee the safety of our loyal subjects. Thus, it was upon being worried by the loss of our communication with the caravan of Grungran Axebearer, may his ancestors welcome him, 4 weeks out of Karak Azul, bound for Alessi of the Elves, we dispatched such scouts and forces as were necessary to obtain information regarding their fate. Our messengers brought back dire news that will shake our empire like the fiercest earthquake, and will light fire in the hearts of our people hotter than the raging furnaces of all the smelters of Karazakarak. Our folk were slain. Not by Groby Misty did they fall, nor by beast of the woods, nor dark warrior of the north. Arrows were found piercing their bodies, many arrows. An ambush, wicked and unannounced, had caught them unprepared, and they had been slaughtered. These arrows, these hated weapons so callously ended their lives of our noble kin, were fashioned by the hands of the elves. Faced with such news, we were much distressed. Long and bountiful has been our relationship with the folk from beyond the sea. Much they crave our wares, and for our part we have always accorded ourselves with honor and good grace. Though they are a strange race, much given to odd ways and outlandish customs, we welcomed them into our holds. We offered the hand of friendship, and they grasped it. In our own chambers we have hosted banquets in due ceremony for their lords, and lavished upon them all the hospitality of our people. We have ignored the slights and ill manners for the sake of prosperity and peace. We have shared the spoils of our hard labor and divided the lands. Yet it seems these misguided elves care not for the respective alliance, and have dealt us an underhanded blow which we deem beyond countenance. For all our anguish, we listened to the counsel of our wisest advisers, and cooled by their words, as the steam cools the newly forged blade, we did not act rashly. Tempered by this wise advice, we dispatched more of our kin to ascertain the extent of elvish trickery, hoping perhaps that this incident was isolated and disavowed by those who rule the elves. Our hopes were dashed. Missing parties from all holds were found slain, some of them with their remains despoiled in callous manner, their chins left naked so that their spirits will wander the dungeons beneath the halls of the ancestors, wailing and weeping in eternal shame. This was not a petty act of spite, but a concerted and deliberate attack upon our people by those we had called comrades. Still counseled for caution, believing the elves perhaps had some shred of dignity remaining, we sent them word of our anger and gave them the opportunity to account for their actions and offer just restitution for the offenses they had committed against our people. We offer here a portion of the response we received to this diplomatic request, so that all might judge for themselves the character of the elves. We are unconcerned with your baseless threats. That you seek to treat with us as equals under the guise of allies, whilst contemplating violence against us, is proof that you offer no guarantees as to your good conduct of your people. The glorious and mighty Phoenix King of Ulthan does not answer to the demands of a king of gravel, muck, and coal. We, unlike the people of the mountains, are not uncouth, and the Phoenix King is happy to receive any pleas for assistance made with due reverence, polite language, and humble civility. They attack our people and speak of civility? Less twisted is the axle that warps in the mold. The provocative and untrustworthy nature of their king was revealed, and yet we would not be remembered as a warmonger and a lover of slaughter. Again, we offered opportunity to make right what had been done, and to recompense our people for the slights of the king's reply. Word was sent, an embassy was made to the Phoenix King, who speaks for all the elven princes. Undemanding were our questions. We sought the truth, to know whether the bonds that have tied our peoples together were truly to be cut. It is not in our nature to seek bloodshed where peace will profit us greater, and so it was with the elves. Such civility went unrewarded. No, not unrewarded, openly mocked. In the arrogance of their kind, the elves deigned not to answer our earnest and honest inquiries. Not content with besmirching our honor with this petty rebuke, the Phoenix King added injury to insult in the most dire manner possible. They shaved our ambassador and cast him from the court. He has since sworn the oath to Grimnir and seeks the solace of a slayer's death. This is a deed that cannot go unpunished. The slaughter of our folk and the embarrassment of a representative is nothing less than a calculated attack designed to undermine our strength and humiliate our authority. They shall find our resolve not so easily shaken. It is thus my grave duty to announce that we must wage war upon the elves. We must wage a war to reclaim our honor, and if that debt must be paid in the blood of elves, then so be it. From the greatest king to the doughtiest smith and hard-working miner, we owe our glory and wealth to all who fight and work under the banner of our empire. Now a time has come that we might all be so sorely tested that we doubt the right tunnel to follow. Heed our words and know that we are right. We shall lay low the white towers, we shall burn the fields, we shall hew the trees, until the elves bend their knee and offer us which they owe. They are a weak people, with no stomach for hardship. We shall see what becomes of the arrogance of the elves when their cities burn, and their sons are heaped upon a pyre of their own making. There is a strength in the mountains that has weathered the elements for untold years. We are from the mountains hewn. Our hearts must be as rock, our arms as untiring as mountain streams, our backs as sturdy as any ridge, if we are to bear this burden. The elves are weak, and like wayward cousins must be taught that they are in error, and punished so that they will learn the lesson well. Stoke the furnaces, oil your armor, and sharpen your axes, for a war most bloody is upon us.
My favorite part about this is that, like, the massive, like, the actual, like, insult of, like, shaving the ambassador. Like, if they were like, now his soul, he's been humiliated, he can only seek honor through death as a slayer, or else his soul will forever be, like, lost to the afterlife. The elves can be like, hey, that's not true. You know that, right? I met the guy who came up with that. I was young, I guess. I was merely 2,000 years old at the time. But, you know, like, we predate that. That's definitely not true. We're still mad! We demand to be taken seriously!
I'm seething!
Well, so that was my favorite part, was that the messenger then took the Slayer's Oath, and then so I like to imagine the next time they see them, like, it's just elves patrolling on, you know, like the wall or whatever, and then, like, you can start to hear, it's just louder,
getting closer.
And it's just that guy, but now he's a Mad
What the
Max,
hell is
like,
that?
Mohawk, fucking, yeah, like...
All right, so I picture, like, the elves are in their Squidward ethno state.
Yeah.
Like, they're all inside their wall, and everyone has the same house.
And the same clarinets,
Yeah.
and same canned bread, same bicycle.
And Padraig and Spongebeard show up.
Yeah. God, that is exactly what it is. And by the way, a big part of this, like the premise of that letter, was them saying, like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to spend the next couple years preparing for war after this, like, horrible indignity. So everyone get ready. We're going to fucking war. And from the elves' perspectives, they sent home like they like, yeah, we shaved him, we sent him back. Haven't heard from them in a while. All right, well,
Just like 10 solid years of just like beating metal into swords, like, coming for them. Huh?
The sword.
What happened to those guys?
The source I found said they took 1 full year. They took 1 full year to prepare and make sure all their stuff was stocked, all their weapons sharpened, all their war machines working, before they let them have it.
just like just at the farmers market, just like, huh? Did you hear that Melketh? He like attacked some dwarves. Actually, that's what happened like last year when they were doing that. They sent that dwarf guy up here that we showed. Oh, that's crazy. Was everybody all right? Yeah, everybody's no one got hurt. Just some dwarves. Oh, all right. Well, see ya.
Yeah, like it's nothing.
It's nothing to them.
Yeah, literally nothing.
And then just cut over to just like hammering. And just, oh, we're go.
Yeah. In this time, every dwarf wore fine mail or plate armor, and most carried runic weapons. Bolt throwers and grudge throwers were ready to hurl projectiles at the spindly towers of the elves.
Grudge throwers?
I was going to save this for when I went over the dwarf units, but I will take the time. So, the grudge thrower has a special place in my heart, because it is one of the most Warhammer dwarfy things ever.
Oh, I think I know what the grudge thrower is.
It's basically just a catapult that hurls boulders, but they specifically write and carve runes into the boulder to make it have additional effect. But a lot of times it's not magical runes. It's, hey, fuck you, I'm going to hit you with a rock. They just put that on the boulder and then hurl the rock at you. Or they'll just pull whatever sort of curses or like literally grudges. They'll put their grudges on the rock and then throw the rock at you.
I'm squishing you for these reasons.
Yeah, exactly. The dwarves marched in their thousands, throng after throng heeding the call for war. Never before or since had there been such a sight, the full might of the dwarves at the height of their power. The elves' forces were just as, and arguably more, mighty than the dwarves. In this time, Kaldor hosted many dragon riders, and battle mages were a common sight. After the Sundering, the capital of the elven colonies was Tor Alessi, situated in modern-era Britannia, ironically, where Malekith would marry Alisara. I spoke about that in the Dark Elf series.
Yeah.
The High Elves were eager to defend the capital of their colonies and prepared for an eventual Dwarven assault. An unstoppable force would soon hit an immovable object with devastating consequences.
The dwarves, I forget that they don't have any wizards.
Not a single one.
I'd be so cocky as the elves.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I'd be wrong.
They would be even if they did have wizards.
Yeah,
Okay,
true.
that's true.
That
You know?
is true. But, like, also, like, they're like, they don't even have any wizards. He's pointing some sort of pipe at us. What is that? And then just like, bang, you're dead. Guns.
No guns yet.
No guns yet.
No guns yet. Guns will not be invented till later.
Also, I like to imagine the army marching to the elves, and they pass by humans who are just like, "What the fuck's going on?" And
Yeah,
then
they pass by, like, fucking, like, cradle of civilization hunter-gatherers.
Well, it's just like there's no human settlements right now.
They're just Unga Bunga cave people.
Yeah.
Like I just imagine them pass by and they're super scary and they're just like, oh. And then the dwarves turn to them, it's just like, "How are you, friend?" And then it's just they don't have a grudge against them, you know.
Yeah. I think I need to fact check this, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I believe Kemery and Cetra are doing stuff in the Southlands.
Right.
Over in Nehekara.
Right.
I think the peoples that would become the Tomb Kings are currently doing stuff and shenanigans at this time. I think that the timeline lines up. That it's either a little before or a little after these events that all happened. Because specifically, I'll do an Nagash episode eventually because he's the goat.
He's the coolest.
But he would learn dark magic from dark elves that blow off course. The first siege of Tor Alessi did not go well for the throng of the High King. The assault, initially led by his son Snorri Halfhand, the city was garrisoned by some 20,000 elves, the dwarves having underestimated their number. Many archers stood upon the walls, who rained down steel-tipped arrows on the throng.
Ah, just like what happened before. No.
The dwarves mustered their crossbows and siege engines at the western gate, and some 1,500 stones inscribed with runes of vengeance and wall-breaking were hurled at the walls of the citadel while the elves counterfired with bolt throwers and arrows. The elf forces would sally forth 3 times to attack the siege engines, the knights skewering many dwarves on their lances before retreating within the walls under the cover of arrows. Thane Dumbren led an ill-judged pursuit against the attackers, losing a full quarter of his clan for no gain. Taking the name of Thane Wazakirk, literally King's Fool, he was dispatched to liaise with the mule train that provisioned the throng.
You failed us, Thane. You're now King Donkey Brains. Go, go now and be Lord of the Donkeys. Lord over them, you big idiot. Get out of here.
The dwarves began 3 mine works to undermine the towers and gatehouses. The work was concealed by pavaises made from Wurtroth. Wurtroth is like a special mountain wood the dwarves covet. It's like basically as hard as stone, but it's extremely rare and valuable.
Probably petrified.
Magical fire caused one of the tunnel works to collapse, while a sally led by an elven prince destroyed many of the workings on another. However, the prince was captured before he could retreat. His name was Prince Alier, and might be Ardlier. There's definitely some typos there. Like it was written differently multiple times.
King Larry.
Of Eataine, and a ransom offer was sent to the garrison of Tor Alessi. He was caged with the mules, while his warriors were set to the work of gathering wood for the furnaces.
First time getting sent to mule camp, huh? Yeah. I'm King Donkey Brains. How are you?
One of the tunnels reached fruition, and fires were set beneath the western gatehouse. The tower, elf made and therefore weak, collapsed within minutes, crushing a large number of elves and opening a breach for attack. Elven spears met dwarven hammers and axes as they clashed in the breach, the footing unstable. The dwarves managed to gain entry into the city before withdrawing at night, having lit many fires within the city. Calador was furious when he heard Tor Alessi was being besieged. He emptied Ulthan of her armies to battle the dwarves, some of his advisors begging him to hold back forces to defend the homeland. The single largest fleet ever to leave Ulthan sallied to relieve the city, and never again will the elves sail in that number until maybe the end times.
Right.
Like, they're updating him on the situation. They're mad about what?
We were being so cool!
It has something to do with, like, after they die, it's complicated. Now he's what they call a slayer. He's sort of suicidal warrior with a big dyed crest of a mohawk. And he's like, but is that what those guys are? We keep throwing those in the garbage every single time. There's all these fucking mohawk dwarves. We just throw them right in the trash. We just open up a pit beneath them. We're wizards.
It's on the menu.
Yeah. Yarr! As they just get Looney Tunes.
Word came to the dwarves that an elven fleet was sighted several miles off the coast, heading west and south. The dwarves were forced to lift the siege, lest they become trapped between the newly arrived army and the walls of the city. The elves jeered and taunted the dwarves as they withdrew, but were silenced when Prince Aelir was returned to his people, his head removed and placed in a pickling firkin to accompany the corpse. The end of the first siege of Tor Alessi marked the end of the opening dwarven offensive.
And we didn't let him shave the entire time he was with King Donkey Brains.
Okay, so one point of contention between dwarf and elf that has always existed: elves cannot grow facial hair.
Yeah.
At all. They're smooth. They're utterly smooth. So the dwarves have always suspected them and always had like a mistrust because dwarves can't grow proper facial hair. They can't grow it at all.
Elves can't grow facial hair. Dwarves can't not grow facial hair.
Yeah.
Also, it said the elves jeered as they ran away, which I can only imagine as, oh,
Obvious laugh.
oh, you stupid dwarves, oh.
And it was after the first siege of Tor Alessi that the dwarves caught wind that the elves are calling it the War of the Beard. Whereas the dwarves call it the War of Vengeance, the elves call it the War of the Beard. Because literally, like, Caldor was like, really? They're mad about that? Like, what?
Yes, that's why we sent so many guys to you afterwards, asking you to say sorry. We just kept shaving them.
The two sides continued to build their forces, the elves centering around Tor Alessi, and the dwarves mustering around Karaz-a-Karak and Karak-Karadrin to the north. Sporadic fighting popped up, with Tor Alessi being sieged several more times, and the elves even laying siege to Karak-Azul. The conflict really picked up steam when Snorri Halfhand, the son of King Godfrey Starbreaker, faced Caldor II in single combat. Snorri was courageous to face what was considered the most powerful elf warrior.
Yeah, he has power armor and he's...
So the elves have their anime rules.
Yeah,
we're like the most powerful guys. So that's like when at the end, like the guy who's like an old man who's been in charge. Actually, he's the biggest karate fighter.
Yeah,
basically.
The Phoenix King specifically has like magical Iron Man armor and like fucking he's juiced up. He's got superpowers. Everyone else can do magic. He has powers.
Okay, yeah, he definitely... I'm not sure what his war gear was, but he definitely has the pinnacle of elf equipment.
Yeah.
And he's also a dragon rider.
Yeah.
Like, the whole Caldor...
So he comes with a fighter jet, too.
Caldor named himself after the province he hails from, and the Caldorans are dragon riders. Like, they just have dragons at their beck and call. And back in that time, they were called the Dragon Princes because they literally rode dragons around.
Yeah. You wouldn't?
This is my dragon. Oh, you don't have that?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Dwarves kill dragons. They've been fighting them for like millennia at this point.
His dragon like chuckles.
They just laugh foppily together. Yeah. What he had in valor, he lacked in wisdom, and was dispatched by a blow an older, more seasoned dwarf would have seen coming. Snorri's army fought well, but were forced from the field in defeat. With the loss of Snorri, his kin were incensed. For the next generation, the dwarves launched offensive after offensive against the elves. However, this eventually exhausted the resources of the dwarves, and their momentum could not be maintained. The elves would retake the lands they had lost, and launch a counter-offensive that lasted some 150 years. Karaz-a-Karak would be sieged twice in this time, with the elves being beaten back with a heavy cost in lives. After the failed sieges of Karaz-Karak, the Elves began to grow weary of war. Their forces retreated west, withdrawing from most Dwarven territories, but the Dwarves had no such sentiment. Morgrim Ironbeard, Snorri's cousin, would march at the Elves at Oragor, the easternmost outpost of the Elves in the Old World. Hosts from the province of Safri and Yvres joined the host of Caldor, led by Prince Imaldrick, brother of Caldor II, to defend Oragor. Imaldrick was known as the Master of Dragons, as he was the second and last elf to be held as an equal amongst the dragons after his grandfather, Caldor Dragontamer. Imaldrick was also one of the elves that respected dwarves, and when the Druchii attacks started, he did everything in his power to keep peace between dwarf and elf.
How does the bit from Dave Chappelle's first stand-up from 25 years ago go? Like, if you see one elf in a group of 5 dragons, you know that elf is the evilest thing in that group.
You don't know what he did.
To earn those they're dragons. He might have eaten another man.
Unfortunately, his brother, Caldor II, did not share this opinion, seeing the dwarves as lowly cur only fit to lick the boots of the Aesir. Even after war broke out, Imaldrick held out hope that a peace would form between the people. He had several meetings with Morgrim, hoping to convince him of the High Elf's innocence. Caradryel of House Revenal would assist in parlance between Morgrim and Imaldrick. Caradryel was an advisor to Imaldrick and joined him in Tor Alessi when Caldor sent his brother away from Ulthan, as parties critical to Caldor II's rule wished to instill Imaldrick as the Phoenix King. The Master of Dragons had little mind for politics and intrigue, and looked to Caradryel in these matters. Caradryel, having been taught Khazalid, the Dwarven language, was actually allowed to travel with Morgrim's throng as it marched on Tor Alessi, waiting for the Dwarf Lord's response in parley. He also noted how the council representatives of colonies undermined Imaldrick's efforts at diplomacy. At this time, most elves were like, yeah, fuck the dwarves! They're assholes! Yeah. They're overreacting, and now we're going to overreact to them overreacting!
And then, genuinely, both of them are like, looks like they're... like, first the elves are like, looks like the dwarves can't keep up. Looks like it's time to push the attack. And then, after a little bit, the elves are like, I'm kind of not, like, that motivated to keep going. It's been 100 years. We can fall back.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, let's just back off. And then the dwarves are like, they're falling back! Charge!
I was going to point out that, too, because it was... it's like, the elves grew weary, but it was just... and then the dwarves, like... and they're thinking, like, surely the dwarves are getting a little tired, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, Smash cut to the dwarves, just like, every dwarf life lost, like, only spurs our people's vengeance to higher, like, higher and higher.
Every single night after mealtime, they're like, and also they shot an arrow at me, and they're like, I'm not added to the Book of the Grudges, as they're just, like, writing it.
Cut to like, the under the mountain. And every dwarf meets to do push-ups at 8 p.m. after dinner. Every single dwarf in the entire mountain.
Just getting ready.
Yeah, getting ready, yeah. You're doing pull-ups under the mountain like Sarah Connor.
Quick, everybody! Now, push the earth down! As they're doing push-ups.
There is a canon conflict as to the clash between Imaldrick and Morgrim. The army books and the army books and the source books versus the novels. Uh-huh. So there is a novelization of the War of Vengeance that really changes how a lot of this stuff is like recorded. Mm. A lot of the army books are going off of a different canon, and so I for the most part try to state both.
Yeah.
The source books state that Morgrim's quarry sought to avoid combat, but after 2 days of maneuvering, battle was joined. The fight was long, with both sides firing upon each other for hours. The dwarves were intent to prove they could withstand any arrow storm the elves could muster. Eventually, in desperation, the elves closed into close quarters where the real slaughter began.
That seems unwise.
They ran out of arrows.
Imaldrick led a charge against the shield wall atop his griffin, slaying many Dalwi in the process. Morgrim would meet him in single combat, beheading the griffin with a blow from his rune axe. Imaldrick's blade could not pierce the rune armor Morgrim wore, and in the name of Snorri, Morgrim cut the elfling down and earned the title Elgidum, or Elfdoom.
When you said, like, you basically answered the question before I could even, like, phrase it. You said he did single combat with a guy that has a flying mount? Oh, it healed it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's an opening move. So
Now, Morgrim, what will you... Oh my god, you just cut its head!
And it's like the same thing with the new Dragon show. Like, why did you bring your dragon inside crossbow range? If we can make a crossbow that shoots further than a dragon can shoot, then dragons aren't for shit.
Yeah, that'll do it. So this canon, I mostly reject because Imaldrick is a prince of Kaldor. He would not be riding a griffin. He would be riding a dragon. So, like, this other version, from the novels, I personally like a lot more.
We tarred and feathered his dragon afterwards. Told everyone it was a griffin. We're trying anything to just give them a share of the humiliation that they showed us.
We've been at war for 150 years. We're out of ideas.
We're out of ideas. We're trying new ways. We've been inventing slurs for them. Unfortunately, they don't speak Dwarvish, so they don't really land.
So, in the novels, the dwarves besieged Oregor after the failed fourth siege of Tor Alessi. Imaldrick and 6 dragon riders would lift that siege by basically slaughtering thousands of dwarves with their dragon.
Yeah, they fly in with their fucking fighter jets.
With their fire breath. And the entire regiment's just gone in an instant. As long as the dragons are positioned properly, they can wipe out entire armies. Like, a single dragon can do that, let alone fucking 7.
And they're probably like 1 million years old. They have hundreds of years to practice. Like, okay, you take this 6th, I'll take this 6th. Like,
some of the most well-trained, most disciplined, most seasoned fighters in all of the old world. I'm pretty
sure. And dragons aren't idiots either.
No, they're intelligent beings.
That's also a guy who's really good at this.
And there's a good chance a few of those dragons were fighting during, like, the Great Catastrophe. Like, they were, like, fighting the demon legions. They've just been chilling. This is a Tuesday to them.
Oh yeah, I fought with Lucifer when he got thrown out. I was there.
Are Warhammer dragons spellcasters?
There is one that I know of, but I don't think that's
not
the
usually.
default.
They have magic knowledge, but they're also just big lizards that can squish you or burn you.
At a certain point in, like, D&D, like at a certain age, it's like I use a spellcaster now.
Yeah. He can. He doesn't need to do his fire breath on you. He can actually cast fireball.
He's like 1 million years old. Of course, he learned that.
Yeah. You'd have to try really hard not to, or have a low int, Mister Barbarian.
Shortly after the siege started, Morgrim's own forces joined King Brynolf of Barak-Var. The city was not a large one, and the attack breached the walls with relative ease. They had almost taken the city when Imaldrick arrived atop his dragon, Drukain. The dragon killed hundreds of Dawi alone with its fangs, claws, and fire breath. 2 bolts pierced Drukain's side, and many quarrels pierced his wings. But it was the 2 bolts that bit into his neck that felled him. He crashed into a building and was buried with rubble. Imaldrick leapt off his mount, landing amidst hundreds of dwarves, but none moved to engage him. It was then that Morgrim waded through the ranks of the Dawi, seeking to fight him in personal combat. The 2 warriors clashed, seemingly evenly matched. Eventually, Morgrim's Runax broke Imaldrick's sword, and he slew the Master of Dragons. So this is me taking some liberties, but based off of what I have seen and read, there's a reoccurring trend where the dwarven craftsmanship of, like, their master crafted shit just trumps the high elves equipment.
Right.
So whereas the high elves had wizards and dragons, the dwarves just had better war gear, typically on standard. So when it comes to single combat, a lot of the times the dwarves just broke their shit and then killed them.
Yeah,
like that's happened multiple times.
That's pretty much how it is in real life. As soon as, like, there was an army that you field one knight in full plate, and then, like, everyone else, like, you know, they fucking try to get him, but he just wades through them, killing them like
until he's tired. Warriors. Until he's tired. That's the only thing that's going to stop him is him falling over or getting tired.
Yeah, I mean, we did the bit last time about, like, after the dwarves have waited for, like, the 1,000 years of chaos or whatever, as they step out onto the lawn and all the beastmen run and they just, they just smash into the armor and just blood. They just fall to pieces as they try to engage the dwarves in their bricks of fucking rune metal.
I'm going to do probably a separate episode where I go over all of the runes like that are available in the tabletop game. But there is specifically one rune that was developed during the War of Vengeance. 2 runes. One that repels arrows, and one that stops you from getting your head cut off.
That's a very useful one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because the
wow.
elven swordsmen were so skilled, they're like, I've studied the blade for 1,000 years. Like, they're all that guy. So it was a common thing just to, like, you know, do the quick, like, decapitating blow strike right between the armor plates. So the rune stops that from happening and grants you immunity to killing blow on the tabletop.
Does it deflect the blade, or does the blade pass through and he's like, ha ha, I turned off collision for that?
I don't know.
The head fully separates from the body.
I actually don't know.
So I was gonna say, like the elves, they're showing up with their really good equipment, magic equipment.
Yeah.
And it's just like, haha, it's enchanted to resist this magic. And then the dwarf rolls up with his rune axe. It's just like, actually, I'm not following those rules.
Yeah, basically. Like, they're literally using an entirely different system.
You'll never be able to get through. My magical defenses are too much. Only an ordinary metal, and no ordinary metal could carve through the mithril armor of the elves. And he just pulls up a rune axe that is like as thick at the back as like a phone book. And he's like, I'll give it a try. It just like chops through him.
I'd also, real quick, side tangent. Whereas the dwarves have Gromril, which it basically only exists in like that part of the world.
Yeah.
The elves have Ithromar, which only exists below the province of Caldor.
Yeah, they have like a mithril.
They have Pig Latin mithril.
They have Pig Latin mithril. It's basically weightless.
Yeah.
So
We're not trying to break our necks here filling out the lexicon of metals.
it's killed Rob.
Yeah, you know how many units every army has? We have to think of a lot of names for things. We can't spend more than a couple seconds on each one.
Oh my god.
And so because elves are pretty weak constitutions as a baseline, typically an elf in full plate or like heavy armor, it's going to be Ithromar, and a lot of their steeds are in Ithromar armor, and because of that, their steeds can run faster than regular
more
horses.
movement speed.
Yeah.
They're much faster than regular horses. But yeah, Ithromar, enchanted Ithromar seems to be quite often inferior to enchanted Gromril.
Yeah.
Like that seems to be the case throughout a lot of the lore. This is speculation, but there are like multiple instances where I can point to like the dwarven Gromril axe trumps whatever the fuck the elves brought to the table.
It reads very much like mithril versus adamantine.
Yeah. That's what I was
One of
thinking
them's
as well.
very light and super strong. One of them is not light at all, but is even stronger.
Yeah, accurate. The dwarves would allow Drukan, crippled but still alive, to fly Imaldrick's body back to Toralessa.
Oh, you killed my guy! That's the little guy on my back. Oh, by the way, did you guys know I could talk? I can go, right?
Yeah, there's the dragon. Oh man, bummer, dude.
Lame!
Yeah.
Lame!
That was the
Bummer,
only elf
dude.
that was cool. The rest of the elves are lame.
That was my friend Emerald. Emerald was the coolest.
So you laugh, but
He's Emerald Lagasse now, the elf.
the last of the dragon tamers had fallen. It is said that no being was ever able to match his power and control over the dragons. Caldor II would offer his sister Elaine's hand in marriage to whichever elf brought him the beard of Morgrim.
Did she get a good deal out of this? Did this turn out well for her?
No one ever brought him Morgrim's beard, so...
So yes.
I was going to say she got a beard out of it. I also thought Tony was going to say, like, he tried to use his sister to get the dragons back. Like, hey, dragon,
Hey.
my sister, kind of hot.
Kinda odd, huh?
let her ride
Fantasy
you?
novels, huh?
Yeah. Or you could eat her. And then you could let this guy ride you. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Years passed, neither side relenting, as dwarves and elves bled each other dry. 2.5 more centuries would pass, as the dwarves sacked and razed settlement after
500
settlement.
years of war.
400. During this time, Caradryel would serve Imaldrick's son, Thoriel, and travel back to the elven province of Lorthern at the Phoenix King's request. Caldor II had no children of his own, and sought to groom Thoriel as his heir. Caladriel tried to influence Caldor II through Thoriel to end the war and focus on the Druki instead. He had managed to organize a sizable faction of elf nobles that opposed the war, especially since Imaldrick's death caused many dragons to abandon the conflict entirely and slumber beneath Ulthan, depriving the elves of their greatest advantage.
The Air Force is calling in sick. They're bummed. They're
Chad's dead. We don't care anymore. Like the only
Chad's dead.
cool guy is dead. We're done. You got him killed.
Chadwin the elf.
They can't do that. Well, they're dragons, sir. We're pretty sure they can. What's your pitch for making them? Go on, make them.
And at this, and I would also like to point out that event only got worse over time. Dragons would never be fielded in mass numbers ever since Imaldrick's death. That was like the end of the age of like the Dragon Riders of Kaldor. They just got worse and worse and worse for them. They could sometimes, a Dragon Rider could go beneath Kaldor and do the dragon song that they have and like rouse them from their slumber to battle.
Yeah.
Few and far between. Like
and presumably only like a couple of them are like, yeah, sure, I'll do something.
Yeah, like especially the older ones aren't going to be bothered with your stupid bullshit.
Yeah,
like a lot of the younger dragons, they're impetuous. They want to eat people.
Yeah, they haven't eaten anyone in a while.
Yeah, that's fun to them. They're still young and impetuous. Yeah. But the older dragons, the star dragons and moon dragons, they're actually over it, man.
I actually fought with Lucifer when he got thrown down, and I'm done.
I'm too cool for this.
I'm too cool for that. This war reads as bullshit to me.
You dragons aren't cool. I'm cool.
Go away. We're too busy soul bonding.
Kaldor II disliked Caradryel, but respected him. As Kaldor II dismissed his generals and took personal command of the Elves' forces, he left Caradryel as steward of Ulthan in his absence. After an assassination attempt by Druchii, Caradryel would learn that the Druchii were mustering for another invasion of Ulthan. The war would end when King Gotrek joined his throng with Morgrims in besieging Alessi for the 14th time.
Kaldor is like,
bound to work.
Okay, fine. You guys have it. We're fighting 2 wars, and we have been basically this whole time. We haven't really shared that with you. Can you guys be cool? And they're like, they put up the megaphone to like talk back to him up on the wall, and they say, no! Damn you! More fucking catapults with runic boulders that have middle fingers carved into them. Like a big Easter Island middle finger being flung.
Yeah.
You know what we want?
Many grudges were repaid as rocks rained down on the Elf City for 100 days. The mages of Safri
for 3 months!
Just throwing rocks!
Every day!
I've been at it for 400 years. What's another 3 months? That's nothing. I got it standing on my head. Lad, I've been sieging for 400 years.
That's so many rocks! The reason that it took them so long to get here for this final siege is because of how many fucking rocks they had to bring.
8 generations of my family have been born since the last time I've been home. I've just been out here throwing rocks.
Dwarves have lived and died bringing rocks to be thrown at you fuckers.
I was going to say it was a generational thing, but then I was like, wait, they're dwarves. It's only been 400.
Yeah.
2 generations at most, maybe?
Like your grandpa might have gotten shaved in the War of the Beard. That might still be a thing for you.
Yeah, dwarves can live a pretty long time. So, like, there are probably a few dwarves who've been fighting the war the entire time.
Yeah.
Like the king, the High King, he's just the entire time.
Yeah, same with the elves, too, right?
Yeah, elves live, I think, at least, most of them live at least 1,000 years. I think they can go beyond that. Like, they live a very long time.
My brain typically will just, like, fill in elves to be, like, Tolkien elves, where they're like, they've been around forever. Don't worry about how long. They've been around forever.
Yeah, I can't tell you what the actual lifespan of an elf is. I haven't been able to find that, like, in writing anywhere. But it makes it worse because, like, the Dark Elves just, like, literally sacrifice babies to give themselves youth.
Yeah.
So, like, I think an actual elf can go for about maybe 2,000. This is just speculation. But they can definitely live for 1,000. Like easy.
Yeah. This hasn't even been everyone. This has been like a big event for everyone, but it hasn't necessarily been everyone's main thing for the elves.
Like in the novels, like Maticate is going to go on an expedition, and he considers I need elves at least 300 years old, otherwise they're basically wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
Like they're little baby boys.
They've never even opened and then failed and then completely destroyed the business of a small restaurant.
You've only done 6 sieges. I've done 14.
Yeah.
Well, so imagine you're an elf and you just turned 100 right before the war starts.
Oh yeah.
And then smash cut like 399 years later or whatever, just like, this is not how I wanted to spend my 20s.
Just basically
all the COVID stuff, but you have to like stay inside because there's rocks falling today. Just big runic middle fingers from the dwarves.
No, that's a bunch of bullshit.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
The Dark Elves made that up.
Skaven hex disease is a fucking myth.
The mages of Safri unleashed powerful magics. Fireballs and lightning wreaked havoc upon war engines, and the ground was rent with fissures that opened beneath the siege weapons before sealing back up, consuming the Dawi. The walls were breached.
They did. They Looney Tunes.
They did. Yep.
That was a bit.
That was. I was going to say something, but I was waiting for it. They literally did the whole land swallowing bit.
Oh man.
The walls were breached in a dozen places, and not a single tower remained to halt the dwarf advance. There are a few versions of the clash between Gotrek and Kaldor. 3 times did the elves sally forth to stop the dwarves, and 3 times they were repelled at great cost. The 4th assault was led by the Phoenix King himself atop his red dragon. Bolt throwers and crossbow bolts tore the wings from his steed as he charged the High King's position. Gotrek cut his way through the elves that rushed to aid Kaldor. Gotrek would behead the fallen king with a blow from his axe.
Okay, you killed my little guy. Can I go now, actually?
Yeah, the dragon is feeling like, yeah, he's kind of lame.
This doesn't feel good.
Last time we were in a situation, you let him go.
So, like...
So...
when you said dwarf siege, I imagine, like, that account occurring fully underground with, like
you look at it's a beautiful field still.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside the walls, but you know they're there.
Yeah, so, like, they...
Plotting.
How far... Like, I guess
there's one
magic
outhouse.
There's magic afoot, but couldn't they have gone under the walls?
Oh, they tunnel.
Okay.
They do tunnel.
They're looking out, they're like, the dwarves are out there, and it's like, how do you know? See that outhouse out there in the field? Yeah. I wasn't there yesterday.
That's the only above ground
thing. Yeah, there's actually a section of the Grudge Lore book that like describes dwarven siege tactics, and a lot of it is tunnel warfare.
Yes,
to undermine walls and stuff, and to like undermine towers. Another version is that the dwarves breached the walls, and Gotrek sought out the now trapped Phoenix King, forcing him into single combat. Kaldor sought to end the fighting quickly, but Gotrek denied him. The battle raged on for days, as day gave way to night. 3 days the duo would battle, with no rest or respite.
Get tired! Please!
Kaldor,
it's been 500 years! Why don't you people get tired? And now we've been fighting for days! The sun has gone down and come up! And he's like, put up your fucking sword!
Some, like, from your perspective, some, like, minor redneck nobles were mean to this guy, and now you have this 500-year war, like, I didn't...
Every person you've seen as a child, every, like, student you've ever had, all of them have been like, well, I guess I have to go die in the dwarf war now. Get tired! It's been days! Your armor looks so heavy, it's clearly not made out of pig Latin mithril. How? Come on!
Gradually, the elf's fortitude began to fail him. Starbreaker shattered Kaldor's sword with a well-placed axe. In some sources it says hammer, but the High King specifically uses one of Grimnir's axes, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it was an axe.
They probably meant hammer as in the action of hammering. Like
hammer blow. It says hammer blow, so fair enough. Defeated, Kaldor pleaded for mercy, but the High King offered none. He carried the burden of vengeance for his people and his son.
Like you said, been 500 years!
This was a grudge killing. Gotrek would end King Kaldor's life with a single blow of his axe. In either version, Gotrek plucked the phoenix crown off the dead elf's head and declared his honor had been satisfied. It's over.
War's done. Everyone go home.
There's no universe where I'm not putting that on my head. So, like, that's mine. Look at me!
I like to imagine the scene as, like, he's begging for his life, and then it comes down to, it's like, come on, man, like, it was just a beard. And then he does, like, the shadowed anime eyes. Just, like, cuts off his head real quick. Yeah.
I would thread my beard through it, like it's a big giant beard ring, the crown.
It's like has like wings and shit. It's like a big.
Dude, I would absolutely put that on my head and be like, yeah, look.
Well.
Yeah.
Look who's king of the elves.
The dwarves withdrew in good order, declining to press their advantage and content to act as if the last 400 years of bloodshed had never happened.
All right, it's good. We're gonna go home now. Bye.
Yep.
What?
I hear I have grandkids. I should meet them before they move out and get lives of their own. They're already well into their adulthood.
The elves were welcome to come to Karak and beg for the crown's return.
You can come get this back later when we're done with it. What are you gonna do to it? Who knows? I'd send someone fast. We're big fans of gold. I'm gonna give it functioning wings. I'm gonna make this into a clockwork crown that flaps wings, so none of you long-haired little bitches can wear it without it getting tangled and shredding your scalp.
Some 437 grudges were recorded against Caldor II, mostly for dwarfs slain by his hand.
There must have been a fucking festival of them crossing out all those grudges. He's gone! We got him! All the ticker tape is just like the pages out of the Book of Grudges that have been shredded. And everyone...
The dwarves came up with a great number of insulting titles for him, including Caldor the Oathbreaker, which is the worst name a dwarf can give another being and is seldom used.
Also, pretty ironic, he's not the one who made any oaths about this.
So the Grudge Lore book is from the perspective of an Imperial scholar who got one of the books of grudges and is like, guys, check this out, it's so cool! And it's like written as if it's his notes. And he states that within that book of grudges, there is no one else stated as Oathbreaker.
Oh.
It is only Caldor is stated as the Oathbreaker.
Damn.
That's how seldom it's used.
When we say Oathbreaker, we mean that motherfucker.
Basically. Then Caldor the Coward, Caldor the Friendless, Caldor the...
He had a best friend who was a dragon, first of all.
Not to the dwarves! Caldor the Irredeemable, Caldor the Thin, Caldor the Beardless, Caldor Goat Lover,
And he fucks goats, too! Yeah!
Caldor the Pale, Caldor the Princess, Caldor the Ale Sniffer, Caldor the Goat Warrior, Caldor the Godless, Caldor the Unnecessary, Caldor the Broken, Caldor the Long-Nosed, Caldor the Slayer of Kin, Caldor the Untrustworthy, Caldor the Nervous, Caldor the Frightened of Loud Noises, Caldor the Dark Fearer, Caldor the Child, Caldor the Fragile, Caldor the Laughable, Caldor the Beard Thief, Caldor the Honorless, Caldor the Intruder, and my personal favorite, Caldor the Pointlessly Tall.
That's funny. I was latching on to, like, Caldor the Child. Isn't he hundreds of years older than every dwarf? Ah, shut up!
Shut up!
I was waiting for Caldor the Bed Pisser.
Yeah.
Like, just, they were throwing everything in there.
They also called him Goat Fucker, like, 3 times, and frankly, I feel like that's, like, a misinterpretation of, like, in my mind, the elves, they don't have goats. They have other kinds of animals and things. If they have goats, they have, like, the beautiful, like, fucking perfect anime goats.
Yeah.
And then, like, they met, like a dwarf goat. And he's like, oh, it's got a beard like you guys. Oh, that's fun. And they're like, looks like he likes the goat.
Mm.
And he's like, let's get me the fuck out of here. These things smell like shit. And I don't like the goats either.
The elves, distraught at the murder of the Phoenix King and eager to reclaim his crown, prepared for an assault on Karak when they learned that Malekith launched an invasion of Ulthan. Back on Ulthan, the Council of Princes conferred to elect a new Phoenix King. Most were content to elect Thoriel, Caldor II's obvious successor, but Thoriel refused to take the mantle. Instead, he nominated Caradryel in his place. He argued that Ulthan did not need a warrior king, but a uniter who would bring the 10 kingdoms together. As the new Phoenix King, Caradryel the Peacemaker would decree all loyal elves return to Ulthan and abandon the colonies across the sea. With that, The dwarves had pushed the elves out of the old world, save for a few who sought refuge in the woods of Athelloren, Lorelorn Forest, and a few other sacred places.
Those are like the wood elves,
which
right?
would create the wood elves.
Yeah.
They basically said, you're abandoning us? Like, we have no loyalty to the Phoenix Throne anymore. You guys are dicks. This is your fault to begin with. Like, they've been fucking us over for literally 400 years because you're a petty little bitch.
Yeah.
So we're done. We're completely... The Aesir are us no longer. And they became the Azrae.
And there's this group of dwarves that got separated out east who are real dicks. You think these guys are dicks? Those guys are awful. We're out of here. So long, suckers, as they just, like, fade into, like, the foliage above.
Yeah. The War of Vengeance had been won. As the dwarves retreated to their holds to lick their wounds and repair their empire, a diabolic scheme of a foe unbeknownst to the Dawi would reach its conclusion.
I'm going to ask you a question right now. It has been 500 years of warfare.
400.
400 years of warfare. That group that got separated, that was 400 years ago.
Yeah, the Chaos Dwarves are up to shenanigans. It didn't mention anything from what I saw from the War of Vengeance.
Good, then I can fill in my own. In my version of events, it's like, finally, we can know peace. And then it's like, whatever happened to that other group, the one that we never heard back from? They went out east. They weren't able to join us in this great war. It's hardy lands out there. I'm sure that they've been having a good time, a strong time, building a new empire for the dwarves. And then you just cut over to there, and it's like a black desert, and it's a Dragon Ball Z arena.
The wasteland.
Yeah, where they're just like smashing bugmen and like fucking horrible mutated creatures, and they're just like, we're sick of it! Eating them, mutating
The Doom
slightly.
cover.
Yeah. It's just Doom. They're over there having Doom while they're like, yeah, we fought for 500 years because one guy got shaved. We were getting eaten! You didn't send nobody! Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Where Doom guy's on the big pile of fucking demons just trying to claw up at him and he's shooting downwards.
At this point, yeah, I think the Chaos Dwarves have been established and have been for quite some time. So they've probably had a few skirmishes, probably a few conflicts, but nothing I was personally able to read about. Mm. But the Chaos Dwarves are definitely like
they're cooking up
out and about, like they're doing stuff. But yeah, we're gonna end tonight's episode there. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy the nature of this content, go and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. You can go and give me a follow on Blue Sky, and you can support us on our Patreon. And I'd like to give a special thanks to our Patreon subscribers. That's going to be our Aspiring Magus Champion 1209, and our fellow Scryers Maticate, GaryGoblino, MidniteGrimoire, The Greater Good Boy, Kinomajaro, Grimtones, Wanrical Barcis, Janklord Emperor, Grimothy, Bread the Gnarbarian, and of course, my mom.
Good night, everybody. Love you guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.